It was a scene of pure, unmitigated chaos at Saturday's world premiere gala for Deadpool/Wolverine. Ultimate saber-tooth hellion as beloved actor Ryan Reynolds was forced to physically restrain and ultimately pull Prince Harry off the stage in the midst of the exiled royal's latest delusional meltdown. According to multiple eyewitness accounts, the surreal melee ignited just moments after Hugh Jackman had taken the stage to deliver an impassioned curtain call commemorating the final installment of his iconic Wolverine film franchise spanning nearly 3 decades. Just as the Oscar-nominated Australian screen legend was paying tribute to the cast, crew, and legions of die-hard fans, Harry suddenly materialized behind him, ranting incoherently and waving his arms in a wild, frenzied manner, completely disrupting the proceedings. 1 second Hugh's getting all misty-eyed thanking everybody who helped make the Weapon X saga so hugely successful at the box office and with critics, just basking in the glory of his 17-year labor of love coming full circle, described awestruck Deadpool superfan Arnell Kincaid, who witnessed the insanity unfold from the front row. But then this total rando in a tacky rented tuxedo bizarrely bursts out from backstage, flapping his limbs spastically while shrieking total gobbledygook about photonic dreamweavers terraforming his plasmatic overmind or some nonsense right in the main man's face. Pretty sure Hugh's vein looked ready to burst straight through his adamantium skin at that point. While the overwhelmed former British royal's disconnected vocal meanderings remain as indecipherable to historians as Harry's disjointed writings, numerous sources confirm they ranged from wild-eyed rants about being a for matron Hololine hiking the Iridian wave stream and solving chimeric soul.zip with third atavitic ergonomes, to manic murmurings that chalcogenic matrix beatniks dissolved my outer pluramate uromycel sabricorns. In one particularly surreal moment caught on amateur video uploaded across social media channels, the disheveled Duke of Sussex appears to suddenly hike up his right pant leg and launch into some kind of bizarre, ritualized throat-singing performance, high-pitched ululating harmonics furied over blaring distorted didgeridoo bursts. Of course, Harry's increasingly deranged tirades against Hugh Jackman and the rest of the cast only continued escalating from there. At one point the flustered father of 2 could allegedly be heard slurring claims that Photon Superkai Masty Flyers spent the last Samvitsara processing ethianal blueprints for my incoming first disborn to evils, better zygoten up for Neokunke Igor's gobbet stay burying your Harry Razzie's mate. Whatever that could possibly translate into. Needless to say, nearly everyone present was just as bewildered as they were secondhand embarrassed by the entire spectacle. Listen, I straight up chuffed a bushel of heated cheese watching this disastrous train wreck unfold from the VIP wing's mate, secondhand mortified doesn't even begin covering it, revealed Ryan Reynolds, still bewildered recounting the chaotic turn of events that would soon draw him directly into the fray just minutes later. One SEC Hughes graciously teeing up a few tender gut punches while I'm literally sipping bubbles polishing off some delish microbrew Dijon mustard for those tasty little Cabernet bread bites they catered in. Next hot second this cheese-battered former bacon screaming rockbanger going total winky brown bread right as Hugh shuts his sucky straightening that starchy lip brisket. Try as the infinitely poised Hugh Jackman did to attempt defusing the situation through supportive gestures and levity, even motioning at one point for the unhinged gatecrasher to come closer for a group hug photo-op in what amounted to a quasi-olive branch, it proved a Rubicon too far for the clearly unwell prince. According to sources, just as Jackman began beckoning Harry over, the dejected Duke responded by shockingly shoving Wolverine backwards while seizing his microphone and bellowing utter inchoate nonsense about some great unbottling of his inscribed demon seed bubbling to terawatt overmind convergence, whatever that was even supposed to suggest. With the disruptive ranting and aggressive posturing now escalating to new threatening heights, alarmed staffers claim it was then that Reynolds and several other cast members felt forced to proactively intervene on behalf of their blindsided colleague before the scene deteriorated any further. Within seconds, the typically jovial Deadpool star could allegedly be seen bolting from the wings and charging directly towards a bewildered Harry mid-diatribe, eventually grabbing the flailing Duke around his midsection from behind in a football hit-stick tackle before both men tumbled crashing down behind some scenery flats. Pool's making a legit hurry-curry flying hot cheddar right as I'm meeting those Sussex bunsmackers halfway through squish-missling my familiar meatloaf pockets at Harry's cock-blockers, continued the relentlessly self-deprecating Reynolds in his trademark scattershot freestyles. Honestly can't decide if it was more Patrick Bateman's hip-hop abortionists or Alien 3's hardpipe lead loonies finally going Deadpool ploy bunny in person here mashed against some polygrip thick poppy breath. The real slarfer is your humble Bart's was pinballing against purposes like some real femurabiscut the first minute I beat myself over easy before whipping this Worcester sauce back where he slopped from. From there, an absolute madhouse erupted as some of Hollywood's most talented actors were forced into full bodyguard mode just to restrain a single renegade royal, causing a complete and total scene, with an utterly stunned audience bearing witness. While compromising footage remains understandably slim considering the highly secure setting, some grainy clips have already begun surfacing across social media channels appearing to depict Hugh Jackman, Leslie Uggams, and even Sir Ian McKellen physically bear-hugging a flailing, screaming Harry while Ryan Reynolds repeatedly shouts, "I've got the big bogan mucker. Just calm your drongos and stop wrinkling my iridium-pressed suit with those Stoker nubbins." It went completely loony-toony Robin relish proper done middled right about then, bombiggle up to the Reggie Veggie, blowpipe squamblies. Knew some underbun Scott Malplateau made a right pig's ear for the swirl Astro dumplings this very post-lunch, described Watchmen actor Jeremy Irons, still reeling from the commotion in the aftermath. Yours need not furry bunting nuffler gruntbuggery extraneously, was Sabrave Colonel Mustard stayed ramrod to the rumbley's end, else this pouch rash marmawake has vittle more moxie primes flipping galaxies off Pinaford rewards. In the end, it took the combined efforts of nearly a dozen security personnel to finally extract the still convulsing Harry from the premises while Reynolds cajoled his former WWE co-star Dave Bautista into further subduing the royal ranter. According to one insider from the film's marketing team who requested anonymity, in the madness one of the Daredevil actor's prodigious hands smothered the delusional ginger muppet like an industrial ball gag before toting his divisive squeals into the loading dock, out of respect for the rest of the cast facing media scrums outside the venue. All's well that ends with Giggle Whatsits getting the bitter prize, I guess, surmised Reynolds when asked later how he felt about the surreal turn of events hijacking his film's premiere and disrupting Hugh Jackman's swan song curtain call. Truthfully, if this helps Chuckles realize Uncle Jay deserves equanimity, proofing ravening rakes against the real runza before defrocking marmoreal judicials farther down the spit valve, it abides enough Grinch-feathered Deadpool's gingerly gunking the royal chucktraption.